That was awesome. I just love that.
Oh my god.
Cool. Jennifer, that one was for you. I want to know what you think. What do you think of Songs from the Woods?
Well, first of all, Jethro Tull is amazing. He always is.
Hello and welcome to The Sound Live. My name is Matthew, so everybody welcome to the show, Kyle Walz. Kyle is a singer-songwriter and really cool guy who's got a brand new album that he is starting work on. Kyle, why don't you tell us really briefly, give us a little teaser.
Oh, yeah. So the audio for this new album and is going to be called Mask. It has some interesting experiments on it, and I'm about halfway done, as in done, mastered done with the audio. So that's a nice thing. So I'm aiming for October 1 being done so I can start with other stuff.
Right on. Oh. Jennifer Valaket. Hello, hi. Jennifer. Jennifer is a flute player and a saxophone player. She teaches music lessons, and this first reaction is for her. So I wasn't sure what to start with, but I know for sure what to start with now. We're going to start with my pick. And so I picked something really incredible and soothing, and so I want to start with it. Jennifer, this one's for you. Are you familiar with Jethro Tull?
Yes!
Okay, you are? Have you heard this song, Songs from the Wood?
I don't think I've heard this one, no.
Okay, well, you're in for a treat. This is Ian Anderson, flute player extraordinaire, guitarist, vocalist, songwriter, and an incredible influence on me. I don't know why we haven't done any Jethro Tull yet. I don't know. I haven't been like in that mindset, I guess. And today I need to have some songs from the wood. Anybody want to say anything about this before we mash the play button?
No,
I'm excited.
Yeah, I was trying to think if I've heard this one before. So it seems familiar, so I'm curious to see. Kopi mana kopi.
Kopi mana kopi.
Without further ado, musicians panel reacts to Jethro Tull. Ian Anderson, Songs from the Wood, live in 1977. Here we go!
Let me bring you songs from the woods to make you feel much better than you could know. Better than you could know. Dust you down from tip to toe. Dust you down from tip to toe. Show you how the garden grows. Show you how the garden grows. Hold you steady as you go. Hold steady as you join the chorus if you can. It'll make of you an honest man. Let me bring you love from the fields. Poppies red and roses filled with summer rain. To heal the wound, to still the pain that threatens again and again. As you drag down every lover's lane, life's long celebrations here. I'll toast you all in any tree. Let me bring you all things refined. Galley arts and lute songs served in chilling ale. Greetings, well met fellow hail. I am the wind to fill your sail. I am the cross to take your nail. A singer of these ageless times, with kitchen prose and gutter rhymes. Let me bring you love from the fields. Poppies red and roses filled with summer rain. To heal the wound and still the pain that threatens again and again. As you drag down every lover's lane, lights of celebrations here. I'll toast you all in Betty cheer. Oh.
That was awesome. I just love that.
Oh my god.
Cool. Jennifer, that one was for you. I want to know what you think. What do you think of
Okay.
Songs from the Woods?
Well, first of all, Jethro Tull is amazing. He always is. It's so funny, as a classical player, we're always told to keep our flute up, like this. And so seeing him going down, it like made me like want to say, hey, put it up. No, but anyway, but he's got the sound though. He's oh my god, he's got the sound. The flutter tongue, like that's amazing. What he does, the beatboxing with it. I don't know how to beatbox. I was never taught that. I did have people ask me to teach them that, and I was like, I was actually never taught that. I don't think that's something you really learn in school. So, but he's amazing, and I love that he was like dancing with the flute and everything. Like, oh my god, that was so cool. And his tone is outstanding too.
Yeah, he does a lot of vocals with the flute.
I know. Yeah.
Like at the same time, the flutter tongue, the glottal throat stuff, making the little sounds in between and stuff. And like one of the things that's I wanted to see how they performed that, because like I've known that song since the 90s or
So
maybe
cool.
even earlier. And like from the studio version, I just never watched it live. And I wanted to see what Ian was doing, because he switched instruments like how many times there, back and forth and back and forth. He even did those simple crashes. He looks he's
So
such
cool.
an entertainer,
Yeah.
Like he was
So cool.
just such a ham, just putting on this giant show for everybody, like larger than life.
He basically like you said, like he talks into the flute. I don't know how to do that. Like I do know how to do the flutter tongue, because that's a classical thing too. But I don't know how to do the other stuff he does, because he basically like talks into it. It's like, how do you do that, dude? Like
Yeah, his flutter tongue's really good too.
Yeah,
his
yeah.
flutter tongue technique, where he does that on the exactly. Yeah.
It's just rolling the R. It's like the Spanish R.
Okay, I had this like big realization, and I Jethro Tull might be the inventor of like the nerd genre of music, because if you listen, like I mean, that was an appealing thing of Aqualung, and growing up here in classic rock, that was a classic rock staple. But some of his other stuff was kind of a little bit more, I guess, varied than kind of, in that groundwork for, what they play on the radio where I live. But talking about like ale, like a 16th century party, in some hamlet in the middle of Britannia or whatever, that idea. And I know, Zeppelin and stuff made references to Lord of the Rings and writings like that. But this is a whole different level. And it made me think of like, was around 2006, 2007, whenever I think that like SoundCloud was getting started then, and you had all this explosion of weird niche genres like nerdcore, and stuff. And it was like these things have been kind of percolating or were in fan spheres before, had a whole different audience, from being able to share online. And dude, it hit me. It's like Jethro Tull is like the progenitor of this kind of nerdy aspect of, writing, and that was so cool. I'm like, dude, this is cool. It's like, this guy has read some Chaucer. This guy has read some Swift, He's utilizing some lit in what he's doing, in addition to, like wearing riding pants.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
so
who would do that? But exactly, it's it. It's so cool. So
I
that's.
Want to know. Oh, sorry, not to.
Oh, go ahead. No.
I want to know how he keeps a good sound doing all that dancing and moving the flute like that and all that, because like I said, as a classical player, I'm just like, we're told to keep it very still and keep it da-da-da. How does he keep that sound? How does he do it?
I think part of it is the live sound. It gets a little wishy-washy. That microphone he's using, a Shure SM57, probably wasn't the best to go back and forth between voice and
I heard something.
Flute and other stuff.
Sorry, keep going, Kyle. Eve's still trying to get sound
Yeah,
going.
sure.
What do you think of some songs from the wood, Eve?
I mean, I've been familiar with Jethro Tull for years, and this was one of the songs that I heard on the Greatest Hits. Somebody let me borrow. Yeah, it was my ceramics teacher. He let me borrow Jethro Tull's. I think it was Jethro Tull Masters or something like that. And this was one of the songs, along with like Minstrel in the Gallery, Bungle in the Jungle, Aqualung. Locomotive Breath was a big one too.
I love me some Locomotive Breath. Yeah,
I've done that at karaoke a few times.
Oh, that's a good song. Yeah, and I'm gonna be bringing more Jethro Tull, especially because Jennifer's a flute player. Seriously, Jennifer, if you want to gain some of what I gained on the saxophone, it's from listening to Ian Anderson. Like, if you listen to my playing, you hear I copy him a lot. I really do, because he's just so much fun the way he plays, the attitude that he brings, and he's just a huge influence on me from the time that I was a teenager, probably about 17, 18 years old, just like exploring music, I was like, man, these guys are cool.
It's so funny because my karate sensei has been texting me all these Jethro Tull things that I'm gonna pick one of them to listen to one of these days, because they're pretty awesome.
Right on. I just wanted to start with Songs from the Wood because I was having a little bit of technical difficulties, and he's singing about poppies red and roses filled with summer rain to heal the wounds and still the pain.
Love it.
Nice.
We got to get some old Genesis on here one of these days, because they have the same sort of whimsical in the woods vibe, but I guess in a kind of different way. It's more fairy tale-esque. This is more like, we're back in like Renaissance or medieval times.
Yeah,
and we got everything worked out now. Like, I figured out what's going on. I don't know why when I'm looking at Streamlabs, if I move my mouse off the cursor, the freaking window capture goes black. I don't get that, but I can see my cell phone on the floor just enough to know that it doesn't go black if I'm just watching the video. So I can't go and mess with anything now. I have to and I don't know why. It's really infuriating. But hey, at least it's working, right? Yeah. And so I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish with this Jethro Tull. I got in a much better mood. I got a nice tone set, and it bought Eve some time to get her microphone working correctly. So we're all good.
It was perfect. Right. Yeah.
Thank you to each and every one of our 21 viewers right now. We've got a great show planned, and we're overcoming everything here and moving forward. So anybody got any final comments on Jethro Tull here before we move to our second selection?
No, I'm good. I needed that. It was fun. Thank you.
I have one thing to say. Compared to his stage presence, from what I've seen in interviews, he's a very soft-spoken man. Like when they talk to him in interviews, it's kind of his stage persona versus his off-stage persona.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never watched a live video of him before that. So even though I've been listening to him forever, I just love the energy. I just love how he brought it just so hard. Like the same as you would expect from anybody at the time, Robert Plant, or you know what I mean? So much energy,
I mean, the only thing I want to know, like I keep saying, is how he keeps that amazing tone that he has with moving it around so much. I can't do that.
His singing was pretty good for live too. One other thing about the 77 mix, it wasn't mastered very loud. I had to turn up my
Right.
headphones a little bit. And so that goes back to the Gear Talk where we did about mastering, where we were talking about how, today, people are having these tiny little bumps in their mixes, at least when it's kicking in,
Yeah.
and back then, like, man, when that bass guitar kicked in, I mean, that made a big difference.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, some of it's analog versus digital.
True.
And the other is like mastering techniques have gotten, I don't know if they've gotten better, but they've gotten clearer. I guess because mastering is more about getting the mix to be clear and heard well.
Do me a big favor, like this video, share it out, and subscribe. Evelyn Holland. Evelyn is awesome singer-songwriter and leader of the band Keys of Solomon. You can find her music at keysofsolomon.bandcamp.com.
Progressive black metal.
Yeah.
Please go listen to it.
Yeah, and new stuff is in the works. And also, Kyle Walz, singer-songwriter, artist. You can find him on all the streaming platforms like Spotify, etc. But download his music from kylewalz.com. That's right. Brand new stuff in the works. So, Kyle, you got a bunch of text all over your face right now, Kyle. You need to go take a shower. You need to take a shower and wash all that text off your face, man. No, it's my fault. I didn't move the box over, and I really should, because it would look better if I did. Yeah, and this mouse isn't plugged in. Remember? Okay.
Right.
So, like I said, patreon.com/Matthews Music Lesson Studio, where you can get a bonus video from me every single week. Sometimes it's a cover or a collaboration you won't see anywhere else. Sometimes it's a react video that you get to have a month or more in advance. Sometimes it's going to be a special lesson that you can only get on Patreon, or bonus content from my podcast, Flowering Creativity. So make sure you go there and check out, learn more about Evelyn Holland right now at patreon.com/Matthews Music Lesson Studio. The nonprofit to support the channel and help us to meet our funding goals is liberapay.com/Matthews Music. Please support the channel weekly at LiberaPay, and resting assured, you're not paying LiberaPay anything. They're nonprofit and they're not keeping a penny. Or you could simply send me a tip right now with a super chat on YouTube. I have enabled it. I made sure it's working. You can do it. Beat the live chat line here. Send me a super chat right now. Also, you can buy me a coffee. You know I love my cold brew at buymeacoffee.com/Matthews Music. I need a coffee for tomorrow morning. Send me $5 and I'll go to the store and grab me my coffee for the morning. I love having my coffee in the fridge in the morning, right? Then I don't do nothing. It's nice and cold. And Venmo at Matthews Music. You can send me a tip on Venmo. Chat's coming up now. And one final thing, MatthewsMusicLessonStudio.com is where you get your music lessons. And you can be anywhere in the world. I do tons of different kinds of instruments, including vocal, guitar, all forms of saxophone, clarinet, ukulele, bass guitar, all that stuff at MatthewsMusicLessonStudio.com, and record the lessons to keep them forever on your device. And so we'll see you all next time on The Sound Live.